You're listening to Genuine Chit-Chat. This show is for real.
Hello there, friends, and welcome to another episode of Genuine Chit-Chat. This week is another special with my fiancée, Megan. So much like last week's, this one was recorded in a moving car, so I have cleaned up the audio once again. You can hear exactly what myself and Megan are saying, but the quality is not as clear as you can hear me right now. That is going to be the end of the car recordings for a while, especially on this main feed. I've got some recordings due over the coming weeks in my sort of usual interview format. A lot of it will have video to go on to YouTube and etc. But this one, as it was recorded in a car, there is no video for it. But last week was our trip on the way to Manchester, and we spoke about horror films and that sort of things, and this is on the drive back. So we spoke about pumpkin spice, because myself and Megan just got pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks, and Megan had never had them before, so that was a very fun experience. Then we also talk a little bit about our time in Manchester. We did a bit of mini golf, had some cocktails, went and saw a drag show, and we also talk about Megan's strange tastes when it comes to chocolate and food and alcohol and those sorts of things. So it's just one of those fun conversations with myself and Megan on one of our many car journeys. Now, if you want to hear more like this, but not recorded in a moving car, then please consider going over to patreon.com/genuinechitchat, and link is in the description, because you get to hear one of these every single week, and a lot of the times I release two of them, and myself and Megan are currently doing spooky season. I think I may have said it in this recording or the one prior, where we're going through a whole batch of horror films, and this year is Nightmare on Elm Street. Last year we did the Scream franchise, and this year we actually did Scream 6 as well, because it wasn't out at the time when we recorded the spooky season for last year. So, loads of horror films just to tie in with the spooky season and the pumpkin spice kind of vibe, but all of the details of that are in the description. You can also follow me on social media at Genuine Chit-Chat on Instagram, Twitter and on Facebook. You can subscribe on the YouTube channel, and you can do all the usual great things of sharing and reviewing and all that great stuff. But friends, that's going to be enough from me. I'm not going to be back at the end, so this is going to be enough ramble for you. But I'll be talking to you next week, hopefully I've got a conversation about something quite deep and philosophical. I've also got some more Star Warsy things due for recording, and I've got some other cool stuff coming as well. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already to hear loads of more great, interesting conversations. And I'll speak to you next week with whatever. But without further ado, here is myself and Megan. Welcome to Genuine Chit-Chat, where we have honest conversations with interesting people. And I'm your host, Mike Burton.
Well, friends,
I'm a professional.
You're a podcast professional, even though you class yourself not as a podcaster.
Professional.
But yes, we are in the car on the way back from Manchester. I had a good old time, but I want to press the recorder sooner than I was going to, because Megan and I will be going to talk about pumpkin spice lattes. It's obviously spooky season, and what happens in October is pumpkin spice used to infest everywhere in America, and now it does it over here as well. Pumpkins obviously were popular over here anyway, carving and stuff, but not really pumpkin spice. I think it's only been the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Do you remember pumpkin spice much as a kid?
No.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for listening. I really appreciate you. No, we just stopped off at a service station, got some food, got a coffee. Yeah, I wasn't necessarily going to say Subway. But
Subway, represent.
I don't really want to promote them because there's media stuff in the background. One of the people who owned Subway or was in all the Subway adverts is a paedophile.
Oh.
Yeah, Jeff something or other. And he was on all the advertising stuff. They're like cardboard cuts of him in the stores. I think he was the creator or the owner or something.
Right, okay, well, we just went to Subway.
We try where we can to be moral, but it's not always feasible. You know, Amazon are evil, so are Coca-Cola, so are Nestle. It's
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we just went to Subway.
We did go to Subway. It was very tasty, to be fair. The sandwich artists were great. I don't think they were pedophiles. But we went there, and then we got a Starbucks, who are also evil for tax dodging, but whatever. I got a pumpkin spice latte and a salted maple caramel.
Pumpkin spice latte. I've never had one before.
Have you really?
No.
This is your first one?
Yeah. It's disgusting.
See, I thought you'd had them loads of times before. That's why you're critiquing the spice levels.
No, it's too
That's
spicy.
why they all taste like that.
Oh, I don't like it.
I didn't think you would. That's why I was surprised that you wanted one
No, I
so
didn't
badly.
like it.
Well, because your relationship with cinnamon is much like your relationship
But
with
it's
weird
not the
films.
cinnamon. There's other spices in there. There are other spices in there that I don't like, and the spice flavour is too strong.
It is called pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I understand that, but
It's not called pumpkin coffee.
Yeah, I get that, but you can still have something and a flavour be overpowering. You could have a pea and mint risotto, and the mint could be too overpowering. Just because the ingredient is mint doesn't mean they have to shove fucking fistfuls of the shit in the food. This pumpkin spice latte, for me and my taste buds, there's too much spice.
Yeah, whereas I have the flavour palette of a 5-year-old, so I'm fine. But it's weird though, because your relationship with those spices it really eludes me, because you don't like gingerbread.
I like eating gingerbread. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of gingerbread.
No.
But...
And you don't like ginger.
I prefer gingerbread when it is raw. When it's just a biscuit dough. Obviously, as someone who cooks gingerbread, I have to taste it as I go to make sure that it tastes nice.
Yeah.
But I prefer the taste of gingerbread before it's been cooked.
Would you like ginger loaf?
What, like Jamaica cake?
Yeah.
Sometimes. It depends. It depends on how much ginger's in there.
But you hate ginger beer, and you hate
I hate ginger beer, and I hate ginger nut biscuits. Yeah, they're fucking rank.
Right. I mean, to be fair, ginger beer is very strong gingery, then ginger nuts, then probably... I mean, I would argue that Jamaican ginger loaf is more gingery.
I haven't had it in a very, very, very long time. Gingerbread I'm getting better with.
Yeah, but it's also like with cinnamon. Like, when we were first together, you didn't really like cinnamon that much.
Cinnamon is one of those ones that I don't mind. I'm getting better with cinnamon as well. I do prefer cinnamon now. Like, I like cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
I like things with cinnamon
Danish
in it. Yeah, I would say that I prefer cinnamon to this, but when it's pumpkin spice, there's other spices in there. There's like clove and allspice. There's lots of strong flavours in there, because we have a mixture of some at home that I made that's like pumpkin spice flavours.
Because you made that when you made pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
But you do like pumpkin pie.
I like pumpkin pie.
Which pumpkin spice is pumpkin pie. That's
yeah, but I also get to dictate how much spice I put in there.
But you liked the one at Denny's we had the other time. You've had pumpkin pie at Denny's before.
Yeah, this is just too strong for me. I don't it's too much spice.
So in liquid form, Megan hates ginger and spices, but in eaten form, she likes it in moderate amounts.
What can I say? I'm weird.
I know you are. That's why you're...
It's too strong for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very tasty.
Every time I drink it, it just makes me... Like, this is my coffee. Mike got a
salted maple,
caramel, whatever it is. That one is fucking sick. This one, I took one sip out of and I was like, nope, I'm not going to be able to drink the whole thing. So Mike and I are drinking, we're sharing the pumpkin spice latte, and I'm like forcing myself to drink it because I bought it.
Because I'm nice, because almost anything me and Megan
If Mike wasn't going to share this with me, I'd have thrown it in the bin.
Almost anything that me and Megan, we share basically everything when we're eating or drinking or whatever. But there's a few things, like, I don't like gin, Megan doesn't like whiskey.
Do you want some coffee?
I will in a sec, I'm just trying to overtake these cars. Megan doesn't like whiskey or beer. I don't mind beer, I'll drink it, I love whiskey. I don't like gin, and I don't really like wine very much. But, like, aside from those alcohols, every drink that Megan likes, I like. But Megan only likes about a quarter of the drinks I like. There's lots of squash flavours you don't like.
I've gotten a lot fussier as I've gotten older.
Whereas I've gone the opposite. I used to be a really fussy kid.
I used to not be fussy at all. It was always my brother that was the fussy one. And my brother still is the fussier one out of the two of us, but I have definitely become more fussy as I've gotten older.
But the thing is, you're an adult though, because you eat relatively all adult healthy meals. You'll eat salads, you'll eat pretty much all meat.
Salad. If it's like a salad where it's just lettuce and that's my only meal, I will not eat that, because what's the point? But if it's like a lettuce that's like really bulked out with loads of stuff, or you're having it as a side salad, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like you like vegetables. You like
I love vegetables.
You like pretty much all meat, I think, apart from offal. All meats. You're not a fan of like liver and.
It depends on the form of the liver.
Yeah.
I love pate. That's awful.
That's obviously.
Blended.
Blended, is that what
it's liver? Yeah, it's blended. It's done in a food processor. I've made it before.
Yep.
And you had liver when we went to that Italian restaurant in Southampton. And
I
liked it. I just wouldn't have been able to eat a whole plate of it.
To be fair, no, I had that one, and I was like, I'm probably done with liver for probably another 5 years.
And I like steak and kidney pie, so
I can't do kidneys. Make my physical kidneys feel weird.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have an issue with offal.
Right, but you like, there's very few foods that you don't like. That's like a real adult food. But when you get into crisp flavours, sugary drinks, alcohol, and sweets,
I don't like dried fruit. That's something I actively don't like, is dried fruit.
Yeah, but when the main it's weird with you, because the main things you don't like are usually unhealthy drinks or treats.
Yeah, like I don't like sweets.
Yeah. You don't like sweets at all, apart from Wonka's Nerds, weirdly, which are like the worst sweets ever. And then...
They're not really sweets.
No, they're just chunks of flavoured sugar.
Candy, like...
I mean, it's chunks of flavoured sugar.
Yeah.
barely anything. With chocolate, you love chocolate, but you only like very, very specific chocolate, which is essentially just chocolate flavour and caramel flavour. And you don't really, and Oreo flavour. You don't really diverge from that very much. You don't like fruity chocolate, like when it's got strawberry cream in it. You're not the biggest fan of white chocolate. You don't like dark chocolate.
White chocolate, white chocolate I don't mind, but it's not fucking chocolate, it's just sugar.
True.
It makes my teeth hurt.
I mean, I've gone off white chocolate as I got older, mainly because you realise that all other chocolate tastes way better.
I'm a milk chocolate girl. I really don't like dark chocolate. I'm a milk chocolate girl.
But you actively hate mint chocolate, don't you? Like,
I despise it, but I don't like mint, so...
Yeah, and you don't like orange chocolate either.
No, I really don't like orange chocolate.
Which is so... It's one of those... And you don't like...
I like oranges.
You like oranges and you like chocolate, but you don't like them together.
I love orange juice.
Yeah, you're an orange juice fiend.
Yeah, that's why we can't buy it.
Yeah, because Megan just drinks loads of it and thinks it's
There's a lid on there, huh?
You just drink loads of it and then get heartburn.
Yeah,
because
of the
acid.
acid.
Cool. I've got heartburn. It's like, yeah, could you just down like half a pint of orange juice?
Yeah, I fucking love orange juice.
Well, half a pint's not that much, but still.
There's a Lidl near us that has a fresh orange juice machine, and every time I go there I get a bowl. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I love orange juice as well, but I drink a small amount of orange juice and I immediately get heartburn, so it's good fun. Whereas with me, like, anything that's bad for me at all, I like. Licorice is the only thing I don't, but I like blackcurrant licorice and I like aniseed. But I like all chocolate, mint, orange, dark, fruity, whatever. I like all chocolate. I like all sweets. Apart from, I think, coconut mushrooms I'm not a big fan of. That's it.
The fuck is a coconut mushroom?
So, they're one of my mum's favourites.
I love coconut.
You might like coconut mushrooms then.
Because I like bounties.
Well, it's basically that in a shape of a mushroom.
Because people don't like bounties.
I used to hate bounties, but now I do like
them. I fucking love bounties. They're well good.
Well, I'll have to get you to try
a chocolate coconut. I like that.
Yeah. I'll have to get you to try a coconut mushroom at some point, because it's like a... I don't know what the texture is, because I've never really liked it that much, but it's kind of like a coconut-y gummy thing, I guess.
If it's gummy, I don't know if
it's
I
not
like
gummy, it's like foamy. You like foam bananas, foam mushrooms?
No, I won't like it then.
Okay.
I don't like foam bananas, I don't like gummy sweets. I don't like the texture of them.
I think the stem of the mushroom is that, but the outer bit is a different thing. It's got flakes. It's flaked.
I wouldn't like it.
In coconut.
If it's foamy consistency, I won't like it.
I think it is. I haven't had it in years, because like I said, I didn't like it much. But no, it's one of those weird things. Like, I like, and all crisps, like, I will eat every flavour of crisps. I like all crisps. Oh, I see this, but...
What the fuck?
What just happened? I'm driving on the motorway, deciding I'm going to overtake someone who's going slow in front of me. I slowly go to overtake them.
And then they speed up.
I get neck and neck with them, and then immediately they put their foot down, and they've just zoomed ahead.
Little boy racer.
But they're in the middle lane. They're not even... Like, I overtook them because they were going slow, and now they've zoomed ahead, and now they're going the same speed I'm going now, just about, 20 metres ahead?
Yeah, 30, 40 metres, yeah.
Weird. And now they're behind another car, and now they're going slow. I don't know. Anyway, car journeys. But yeah, it's weird. I like everything that's bad for me. Apart from, I'll tell you what though, with pastries and things like that.
I fucking love pastries.
I do like pastries, but one thing I really hate is fruit or dried fruit in cakes. I hate it.
I see. I don't like dried fruit, so I agree with you there.
I think that fruitcake is the worst.
I don't understand when... I don't know if this is a thing in America or any other country, but like Christmas cake, I think it's traditionally British.
Yes, because
like mince pies.
So, oh no, we haven't got any sweet stuff. What do we do? Let's put some old prunes, dried fruit, saltadas.
Let's put soak it in some alcohol,
and then cover it in brandy, light it on fire,
and then leave it there for a few weeks so that it like does whatever it needs to do.
Grim.
Yeah, fruitcake is fucking disgusting.
The worst.
I honestly don't like. My brother and my mum love Christmas cake. Davin predominantly would just like eat the marzipan that's around the cake. He'll absolutely hack into it because he just wants the icing.
You don't like marzipan that much either. I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of marzipan. If it's around a cake, then it's okay. But if it's like just outright marzipan, then no.
I used to demolish Battenbergs, and then one day
I fucking love Battenberg. I think it's a bit,
And then I ate them one day, and I was like, I don't really like this anymore. And since then, I've just not been as much of a fan of marzipan.
Yeah, but no, fruitcake is disgusting. I honestly, I see people eat it, and I'm just, I don't understand how you get enjoyment from what you're eating right now.
It's like it's basically all the horrible calories of a really nice cake, but you're eating dried alcoholic fruit.
It's also dense. I want a light, fluffy cake.
It's just the worst. Cake. I think it's a tiny little car.
Yeah.
It is just the worst.
It's so small.
I despise fruitcake. And I was literally at work the other day. I was having a discussion because a colleague of mine really likes fruitcake, the Christmas cake. And I said, only old people, really, and then 1 in 20 young people like fruitcake. Because whenever you have a Christmas dinner in the UK, you always have to buy 2 desserts. Because there is almost no families I've ever interacted with
you always have to
where
get
more than
Christmas
half
pudding.
the people like the fruitcake.
Christmas pudding and then something that's for everyone else.
Yeah.
Does your mum like Christmas pudding?
I can't remember.
Because if not, because we'll be hosting Christmas for our mums this year, we'll have to get a Christmas pudding because my mum likes it.
This is what I mean, like, there's no other circumstance where you go, hey, let's cook a meal for everyone, let's all have a dessert, but we have to get a secondary dessert because the main dessert we've chosen is so gross. Most of the
Traditional
people,
dessert is disgusting.
the majority of people at this table, if we're lucky, only half, actively do not like it. So we have to buy a second one. And no one went, you know what, why don't we just stop buying this terrible cake? Why don't we just buy the cake everyone likes? People are like, no, I must have my yearly Christmas cake. It's like, hey, if it was that good, you'd have it more than once a year, wouldn't you?
I think it's more popular than I think you think it is.
Yeah, to old people.
No, I don't think it's just old people.
I think if you took a poll of people who like Christmas cake, or fruitcake, what the hell it's called, if you took a poll in the UK of who likes it and who doesn't, the demographic would largely be over 50.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, I think more young people like fruitcake than you think they do.
Probably. But they're the kind of weirdos who don't like
Put a
egg.
poll on Twitter.
They're the kind of people who don't like egg. And
My brother doesn't like egg.
Yeah, exactly.
But he likes fruitcake.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. People who don't like pizza or egg or like chocolate, those kind of nutters, they're the kind of people.
Yeah, but I don't like sweets. And people find that weird.
It is odd, but I do get it because sweets do not taste even close to anything
They
real.
also just fucking stink. I hate the smell. I hate everything about them.
I love them.
The smell of them is just disgusting. Sometimes when Mike's eating sweets, like, it actively, like, makes me feel icky in my throat. Like, it makes me feel sick because they smell. I hate the consistency of them. I hate the smell of them. I don't understand the appeal for chewy sweets, especially like Haribo kind of sweets.
Yeah. The thing is, I adore them. I love eating them. But I will admit,
And jelly is rank as well.
I love jelly, but I understand that. The thing is that with jelly and sweets, it's the artificial side of things. Like jelly, like sweets and jelly do not appear in any form in the wild. You have to mix together animal fats. Nowadays, there's more vegetarian and vegan friendly ones, but loosely, it's essentially animal.
It's gelatin. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's animal fat, usually pork fat, gelatin. You mix that with enough sugar that it stops being fatty tasting. You strip away some of the oil, and you add fake fruit flavourings, and then shape them into innocuous things. Sometimes different animals, which is very bizarre, and then you eat them.
My favourite thing is that
sweets.
Percy pigs are made out of the shape of a pig.
And they're literally
Most of them are vegan now, but it's just like, the thing that we're shaped as is what we're made from.
Yeah, there's kill pigs, and then, I mean, there's that ironic thing, isn't it, with, like, turkey dinosaurs and things like that. Like, you put animal shapes. It's like, hey, let's kill an animal, and then turn it into the shape of the animal we've killed.
That fucking bear ham.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's made from bear, though.
No, it's not made from bear.
No. But it's just one that although I love sweets, sweets are one of the few things. If people hate them, I completely understand. Same as mint. Mint is not artificial, but mint is such a weird flavour.
Mint's a weird one for me because
It's
I don't like mint as the herb. I like mints.
Yeah, you like this again. Why
I like mint, like mint Imperials, for example.
Mint Imperials, Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs.
Some chewing gum that's not too strong.
I don't really like chewing gum that much. Yeah, I'll have a mint.
Yeah.
But if it's the flavour of mint itself, I don't like it.
Yeah, whereas like, for example...
Like if there's mint in my dinner as a garnish and I can taste mint, it puts me off. So that's one of the reasons I'm not a massive fan of, is it a mojito?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of a mojito because it tastes too much like mint.
Yeah, which is fair.
But mint, the actual plant, has a different taste to mints that come out of a tin.
Yeah, well, exactly. It was also like with mint is... like mint chocolate is very divisive, and I completely get why.
That's
like,
so gross.
I like it.
Awful.
I like it, but it's like my least favourite form of chocolate, I'd say. Apart from ridiculously strong dark chocolate, where it's like 80 or 90%, I can't even eat that. But like, mint is a weird one. I completely understand that. But I've really grown to like mint ice cream recently. In the last year or two, I've really liked mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Gross.
I really like it. I think it complements when you have something really sweet, like salted caramel or something, or fudge ice cream. You have that with a bit of mint.
I'm not a big fan of fudge.
Love it. This is what I mean. You like caramel, but you don't like fudge, and you don't like toffee.
I'm getting better with fudge.
But that's probably not good. It'd be better if you started liking fudge less.
Yeah. Maybe we don't really buy fudge that often anyway. But
I can't buy it. I'll just devour it all. And it's like 90-something% sugar. So there's no point.
Like the fudge that I make is quite nice.
But yeah.
I find that sometimes fudge can be quite chewy, which links again to the consistency of it, which is what I don't like.
Yeah,
It's why I don't like toffee.
Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of people who don't like toffee or taffy or things that get stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, I
get
don't
that.
like it.
Whereas I love it. Although you love peanut butter, and most people who don't like toffees and stuff also don't like the clagginess of peanut
I
butter.
fucking love how claggy peanut butter
This
is.
is there's no consistency. The only thing consistent with Megan is how inconsistent she is.
I'm like the British weather.
Yeah. Which is ironic because you grew up in Italy.
Well, not really.
You're born in Italy, you're half Italian. And
I didn't grow up in Italy. I lived there till I was 4.
from being a babster,
I can't, huh?
from being a baby.
Yeah, but I don't remember it. That's not me growing up in Italy if I don't have any memories of living
From a
there.
baby to 4 years old. There was a part of your child, a
There's a
substantial
small
part.
element of me growing up in Italy. Aside from going to visit my dad, I didn't grow up in Italy. I grew up in England.
Right. But whereas me, I used to be really fussy as a kid, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, yeah.
Maybe what I'm learning about myself is that I don't like really strong flavours, but that I don't necessarily think
But you
that's
like
true.
olives.
I fucking love olives.
But olives suck.
But I love salty food.
Yeah, you do.
So that would make sense as to why I like olives. You're coming off of the next junction, you know that, right?
Yeah, I totally do that.
Yeah, that's why you're in the fast lane, yeah?
Yeah.
You need to start looking at the sat nav.
I get distracted when we do podcasts.
It's not just when we do podcasts, my love.
we do podcasts.
On this weekend, I've had to tell you what lane to go in about 5 times, and you're like, stop being a backseat driver. You're just like, okay, but if I'm not a backseat driver, then you're going to add like half an hour to our journey, so I don't want to go to Tame.
I'd have a leg to stand on if I hadn't done it twice.
And there was audio evidence of it because we did it in the last podcast. I told you what lane to go in.
That is true.
So
yeah, it does happen. But also with, I mean, let's not pretend that you haven't also done this.
No.
Megan. Where was it we were driving to? Was it Wales or something? And you missed a turning, and it was a few weeks after I'd done the exact same thing.
I think it was the exact same turning.
I know, and you not berated me in a mean way, but you like gave me shit for it, which is fair. You missed a turning, you had 20 minutes of the journey.
Yeah.
You deserve to get shit for it. It's just the rule of life. But Megan did the exact same thing, and I was like, you can't talk now.
But you can, and I bloody will.
The thing is, it's just that,
Did you go visit Jamil?
the thing is that when you fall asleep in the car, and I'm just doing a podcast or something, I never miss any turnings because I just focus on driving forward.
Don't blame me.
Looking at the sat nav. No, but I'm not blaming you, I'm blaming the podcast, because while I'm I'm trying to drive, pay attention to traffic, and pay attention to the sat nav, while also thinking of things to say about whatever it is we're talking about.
Can we drink some more of this disgusting coffee so we can have some of the nice ones, please?
Yes, I mean, I'm happy to finish off the pumpkin spice latte, as long as you save me some of the thing.
There's hardly any left in there. Oh, it's so gross.
The thing is, as well, with coffee...
I hate it. I actively hate it.
I also like drinking coffee when it's... Let me have my... Okay, no, you go first. You drink
What?
yours first. Go ahead. I just don't want it to be dead air, because I don't want to have to edit this podcast.
Oh, there's still quite a lot left in there, Mike.
And this.
Yeah.
I will finish it off. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just save me some of my good one. This happened.
This one's so
occasionally.
yummy.
There's a few times this happened, hasn't it? Only probably 3 or 4 times in our lives.
I don't think this is
Not
the
with
first time it's
coffee.
happened.
Not with coffee, but like we'll both.
Very
get,
rare for me to not like coffee.
No, but we'll both get a drink or food of some sort. And there's been 1 or 2 occasions where we've just swapped because you haven't liked one of the things.
I don't think so.
It's happened once or twice before.
I don't think there's ever been an instance where I actively have not liked what I've chosen. There have been instances where I think it's this junction here, Mike, that we've forgotten to come off before.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been instances where, yeah, I prefer your food, but we always share our food anyway, so it's not like I then eat your meal.
No, I would never.
I think this is the first time that I've actively got something that I outright do not enjoy, but I've still given a good go at drinking.
Oh yeah, you've given it a good college try, as they call it.
Fucking rank. I really don't like it.
It tastes like nice. It's like burnt.
It's really sickly.
It tastes like sweet burnt pumpkin.
I'm going to look up what other spices there are in a pumpkin spice latte.
I think it's, as you said, I think it's cinnamon, cloves, and then, I mean, 5 spice is a bit of a cop-out because 5 spice consists of 5 spices. So,
yeah, but
cardamom, is that one? Or no, that's Indian food, usually, isn't it? I think I associate that with cloves. But I suppose it's like, do you like mulled wine?
yes, I do like mulled wine.
When mulled wine...
So there's cinnamon, ginger, allspice, cloves, and nutmeg. And I think the taste that I can taste is predominantly allspice and nutmeg, which are 2 of the flavours that I don't like that much.
Yeah, whereas I like both of those flavours.
So
I like the cinnamony stuff. Also a bit of ginger, and I love ginger. I think as I'm getting older, I'm liking stronger flavours, because
I think there's too much of the ones that I don't like in that.
Because I like.
If it tasted more like cinnamon, I don't think I'd have an issue.
Because I really like spicy stuff, and I also like. I love Marmite, which you hate, obviously. Well, no, you like Marmite flavoured things. You just don't like Marmite itself.
Right, so you asked me whether I like mulled wine. Yeah, I do. I do like mulled wine. But I can't have too much of it. I could have like 8 glasses of it.
Does it make you weird drunk, or is it just filling?
Mulled wine doesn't make me drunk.
I mean, enough of it eventually would.
Yeah, but I just said I can't have more than a glass of it. A glass of mulled wine.
I'm asking why. Does it? I said because there's certain
it's
alcohol.
it's too powerful. Like the flavours are too strong.
Right. It's too sickly and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's weird because mulled wine doesn't that use cloves and a lot of the
you use
the
cinnamon
spices.
sticks and stuff.
So you use a lot of the spices that this coffee does.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that there's too many. The spice proportion in which they put in the ratio of the spice, I think, is too strong. There's too much of the ones that I don't like in it.
So you want a pumpkin spice latte that's more pumpkin-y.
Yeah. More pumpkin, less of the spice.
I think you're the only person who wants a pumpkin-flavoured coffee.
I thought I'd like it.
I'm just so surprised you've never had it before.
Because I want to make a pumpkin pie.
Well, pumpkin pie uses all these spices.
Yes, I know, but again, I'm in control of how many spices go into the mix.
When you've made it before, you've made it quite cinnamony.
Yes, but this is not as cinnamony. This coffee's not got that much cinnamon in it.
Yeah, I guess.
I can barely taste cinnamon.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's pumpkin spice is fun to talk about, and I always find whenever I have it, it's never as good as I want it to be. Because people go on about it so much. Oh my god, it's the best thing, I can't wait for pumpkin spice lattes.
Hyped.
And then I have it, and I'm like, yeah, this is right. But for me, this is just... when I have coffee, I want one of two things. I either want a really smooth, strong, dark coffee. I have milk in it, but like a darker roast coffee, with a good amount of roast to it. Or I want a nice, almost sickly sweet coffee that's like drinking syrup.
It's annoying because I was going to get a normal latte and then you started talking about fancy coffees. So then I went for a fancy coffee and now I just wish I'd gone for a normal coffee.
I mean, that's on you. I mean, to be fair, we've been drinking fancy coffee all weekend, haven't we?
Yeah, but now I'm not going to have it for ages. I want the pistachio latte.
Yeah, but if it was in our area, it wouldn't be
I'd
special.
absolutely smash it.
Yeah, but it's barely got any caffeine in. And we want to drink it to give us caffeine and
It's
energy
so good.
for the long drive.
It tastes so yummy.
Well, go on then. Speaking of that, obviously, I think on the podcast on the way up, we were talking about Michael's, because I've already explained, listen to the other podcast to find out why we were driving up to Manchester and stuff. We had our pistachio lattes. We had the 2 of them,
Yes.
which are very tasty.
So good.
I always forget how good they are. I'm like, it's not going to live up to the hype in my mind. And I drink it, I'm like, no, actually it does.
Yeah, I was
It really
worried
does.
when we got there that they weren't going to taste as nice as I remembered, and they taste just as nice as I remembered.
And I want to try something
So
different on
good.
the menu. Like, they have pumpkin spice there. They have Spanish latte, which uses condensed milk.
I don't think it does use condensed milk.
Okay.
Because it said, when you looked it up online, it just said cafe con leche. Cafe con leche literally means coffee with milk.
Yeah, but it's their specialty coffee. But I tell you what, when we were in Malta with Alex and he had that coffee that was like super dark and he liked the top bit and we told him to mix it and then he mixed it in and he hated
It's
it.
really strong flavour, the hazelnut flavour.
With that, the way that looked, when I googled Spanish latte, Spanish coffee,
Right.
there were 2 images that came up.
Yeah,
That was one of them.
the only reason I suggested condensed milk is that I know that some people in like some Spanish-speaking countries use condensed milk, but I personally have never had a coffee with condensed milk as someone who used to who lived
I
in
imagine it'd
Spain.
be amazing.
I imagine it would be amazing.
Isn't that
We've
what
got condensed milk in
Americans
the cupboard.
That's what Americans use, isn't it? They use
No,
either cream
they
or...
use cream.
Yeah, but they also... Condensed milk is... If an American puts milk in their coffee, a lot of the time it's condensed milk.
Is it? Because they use cream.
But I think the cream is
I don't think it is, my
similar
love.
to...
We'd have to Google it.
Friends, American friends and listeners, please tell us about this condensed
They
milk
have
stuff.
milk, and then they've got creamer, which is like a mixture of milk and cream.
I mean, I didn't even know what condensed milk even was until I started dating you. I knew...
I don't really know what it is. I just know that it comes in a tin, and I use it to make fudge.
So it's condensed, so it's like super concentrated milk, essentially, but it's thicker. Like super concentrated, thick milk.
It's fucking lovely.
But yeah, the only reason I know what it is because you've used it to make fudge in the slow cooker.
Yeah.
Which we were talking about earlier. But yeah, we had our Michael's coffees. They were lush. Service wasn't as good this time, which is annoying, but still great. I blame an individual, not the organisation or company or whatever. But it was really, really good, as usual. We had a good time in Manchester, didn't we?
Yeah.
Always
we did.
have fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's fun.
What do you think of Work the World Part 2?
Yeah, it was really good. I didn't think it was good as the tour that we saw last year,
No.
but I did really enjoy it. It was really fun.
I feel like I had a higher budget.
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like...
There was like more of a
stage
somewhat of a concept.
Yeah, I mean, it was cheesy as all hell, and it was just a Matrix rip-off. But they were not trying to hide the fact it was clearly a Matrix rip-off.
Yeah, and they weren't hiding the fact that it also made no sense either.
Oh yeah, well, Ginger Minch came out in the interlude, was like, hey, is anyone following what's going on? No? Hey, how about you? I'll give you a signed autograph if anyone can tell me what the hell is going on. She's like pointing to people and no one can tell her.
Yeah, have we moved away from flavour of stuff now then?
Or did you want to add something to it?
No, I'm just confused as to where the podcast is going now.
Well, it was originally meant to be us talking about our trip from Manchester. That's
Oh, right, okay.
But I wanted to start up the conversation on the spices, because sometimes when you and I have a conversation, I wish I'd recorded it.
Yeah.
Because we're in the car and there's a recording nearby, I thought, perfect opportunity. What's also a perfect opportunity is this person right up my fucking arse.
There's a Stobart lorry. I can't read this.
All the Stobart lorries we've seen recently, the cabs are not the Stobart lorries. Like, the cabs are all something different.
On the Stobart lorries, they all have a name, and I like to know what the names are.
Yeah, there's always a woman's name, isn't it?
Predominantly, I think, yeah.
Was it Betty Sue and things like that?
Betty
Look at this guy.
What a jabber!
In fact, people then may have even heard the car go past. That's
Look
allowed.
at you in your 2006 car.
It's either a really new,
It's either a BMW
or it's a
an old
really
car.
old cheap car. Yeah, it was like that. We almost saw a car crash on the way. Yeah, I think it was.
That was on the way to Manchester.
I think it was after we were
really
recording.
bad.
That was like, that freaked me out for like half an hour, and I literally have to watch car crashes in my day job. So, yeah, that was freaking me out. I always know when we're only an hour and a bit away from home, because I always remember Castle Stadium.
Is that Reading Stadium?
I couldn't tell you where it is. I just always recognise normally an hour or so away.
Reading. Where are we?
I do not know.
Cheltenham. No, let's go Cheltenham.
It's near Oxford, I think. Because we've been to Oxford quite a few times. But yeah, Manchester was good fun. We bought some fun things. I bought a couple of books, which I, in theory, could have got anywhere.
I bought some 90s.
Which you could have got anywhere.
We got 50% off and some Christmas crackers.
Because
For those people in America, if you don't know what Christmas cracker is, Google it, because apparently you guys don't have them.
Which I'm actually okay with that, because I think they're grossly overrated.
Anyway, we got some for 50% off, and we got a calendar for 50% off as
It's
well.
a very cool Harry Potter one.
So
with the
that
designs.
was fun.
They look like almost good tattoo designs.
Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah, that might be a good shout. But I had fun in Manchester. Work of the World was good fun. So I think the last one was more enjoyable for me. But for me with drag, my favourite kind of drag is either when the looks are phenomenal, like big transformations, or when it's really funny. And I found that this year it wasn't as funny. It was more about the dancing.
It was more dance. It was dance heavy, whereas last year had more interaction from the host.
Asia O'Hara. I mean, I like that. Like, I think when you do some of the dancing, especially when it's someone in heels and things, it's incredibly impressive. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not as much of a fan of watching an hour and a half of people dance really well. That's not specifically what I'm into. But we had fun in Manchester.
We drank a lot.
We did. We had quite a lot to drink on that day. We had loads of little cocktails, didn't we?
Yeah.
Went to our favourite place.
Out.
We did. We had a little treat weekend. We went to our favourite place, Tampopo. People may have seen it on Instagram because I tagged them and then they tagged me in their story. By the time this comes out, it'll be gone. But Tampopo, if you're in Manchester, there's two of them. If you're in London or if you're in Wimbledon, which is kind of London-ish.
Wimbledon is London. It's not ish, it is London.
Yeah, but London is such a massive place.
Yeah, but it's still London.
Yeah, but there's a Tampopo in London and then there's also a Tampopo in Wimbledon.
Yeah, but Wimbledon is in London.
Yes, but there's central London. And then it's I'm not going to delve into the...
There's two Tampopos in London. Full stop.
Yeah, one's in Wimbledon, and I don't know where the other one is. But Tampopo it's like an Asian fusion place. They do like Vietnamese, Thai, Japanese,
Chinese. There's lots of different Asian foods there.
And it is absolutely
It is really yummy.
Incredible.
I had a ramen. Well, we had like a meat sharing platter.
Which was like chicken satay.
There was chicken
the
satay,
pork
sticky
belly.
chicken wings, pork belly. There
pork
was
belly.
what's it called? Kimchi.
Kimchi. You quite like kimchi.
Yeah, I did. There was kimchi, and then there were these corn fritters. They were all really yummy. And then I had a ramen for my main.
Yeah,
It was a pork ramen.
I mean, that pork belly the pork belly you had with your ramen was sick, but the pork belly and the starters might be the best pork belly I've ever
It
had.
was really good.
Phenomenal. And I had I had something a bit different, didn't I?
You had a rangdang.
That was it, yeah, beef rangdang, which I've never had before. It's like a spicy pulled beef. And like, don't get me wrong, guys, I love pulled pork. Pulled pork is one of my favourite things. But pulled beef is fucking amazing.
When it's cooked well, because it can be quite dry sometimes if it's not done properly.
Yeah, but that was phenomenal. If you're ever near Tampopo, go there, because it's just bloody phenomenal. And they have really lush cocktails there. And because we went there early, it was happy hour, so we just had loads of cocktails. Had a bit of whiskey as well.
Yeah, and before that we'd already been drinking as well because we went to play mini golf. And
Yes.
before we played mini golf, we had a couple of cocktails.
Yeah, we were like, let's just get one cocktail before mini golf, and then we ended up having two, and I had a second, and I also had whiskey on top of that.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm a bloody whiskey alcoholic. But yeah, Treetop Golf was great. Been there before. Great fun. We love mini golf. Had some drinks. Went to RuPaul and ate some very tasty food at Tampopo. Is there anything you want to add, my love,
I don't really know. Don't
to
think
Manchester?
so.
No.
I like Manchester. I would
cool.
always go back, and it's always going to take me back because I always want to go to Michael's.
I want to go to Tampopo. You want to go to Michael's?
I mean,
But
Tampopo's fucking sick. It's probably my favourite Asian restaurant that I've been to.
it's probably up there with my top 5
really, really
favourite
fucking
restaurants in existence. I'd
Yeah,
say.
it's really yummy.
It's,
I'd happily go back there.
We're not
Like,
sponsored by
part
them.
of me was like, maybe we should go to different places because, like, we literally did basically the same thing that we did last time we went to
We
Manchester.
went to the same
We
golf
went to the
place.
same
We
golf
just did a
place.
different
We did the other
course.
golf course. We went to the same restaurant. We went to the same
We
cafe.
had different food at the...
We had different food at the restaurant,
Yeah.
but yeah, we stayed at a different hotel.
But we had the same coffee at Michael's.
But we were in Manchester for a shorter amount of time. A shorter period of time.
When did we see Work the World? That wasn't Manchester.
No, that was in London.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, because if that was the case, it was literally a carbon copy, but with, like, details changed. It's only get a sequel to a movie, and everything's basically the same, but they just tweak things, like The Hangover 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, Manchester was great. I mean,
It's been a really lovely weekend.
it's one of those things, though, when we go away, because we were talking about this the other day, where, like, certain people go on holiday, and they go to the exact same place, and they do the same things constantly. And, you know, no shade to anyone who does that. People can live their life however they want. But, you know, for me, I was like, I don't know why someone would necessarily do that. You know, I'm more like, I want to try different things, that sort of stuff. But then when you put it like that, it's like, we've literally just done everything.
Yeah, I suppose, but the difference is that obviously it was more of an expensive weekend because we did splash out, but it's not quite the same as going on a full-blown abroad holiday.
Yeah.
Like, even if you want to go to the same country, like, going to a different part of that country,
Yeah.
like, I don't think going on a city break is the same thing as going on, like, an abroad holiday every single year to the same place. And again, if people want to do that, I get it. Like, it's comfort. You know that you like that place. You know that it's easy. You know what, like, facilities there are. You know about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for me, if I'm going to go abroad, I'm going to want to go to a different place every single time.
Yeah.
Whereas I think for, like, a city break, it's not quite the same thing. Because we do different things. This week, like, this time around, we had less time. But, like, if we were to go to Manchester again, we'd go to loads of the museums. Like,
Yeah.
we went to one of the museums last time.
The Museum of Science and Industry.
Yeah. But there wasn't as much stuff open because unfortunately it was just like, it was the year after COVID, so it was 2021, so there was still some restrictions.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, we would go back and we would go maybe walk along the canal again, or we'd go into a couple of other museums that there are, maybe try out a couple of different places, but like, those restaurants and that coffee shop specifically are not anywhere else. Like, especially Michael's coffee shop, it is literally nowhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've never seen another coffee shop that has a pistachio latte, ever.
Although we did see recently that there's a couple of Starbucks that seem to have them.
Yeah. Where's that strip of paper gone?
I think it went on that person's car.
Up here.
I don't know. I think it might be stuck to the grill.
There
I thought
was
the
a
same
flap
thing.
of paper, cardboard on the road, and it was being, like, flapped along. And now a car, like, just went over it, but it's not flapped away, so either the car has sucked it up or it's stuck to the car, and I don't know where the thing's gone.
Yeah. But yeah, if we go to Manchester again, we'll go for more time, because obviously we've got some friends who live in Manchester as well, so we'd want to, you know,
The thing with
see them.
Manchester is, like, for us, because it's a 4.5-ish hour drive
Without traffic.
without traffic, like, for us, it makes sense to maybe go for, like, a long weekend, because otherwise you're driving for 4.5 hours and you're literally just spending a day there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you booked this because you... Sorry, excuse me. You booked this because you wanted me to be able to go back to Michael's, and you got me the tickets to go see Work of the World, which is great, and I'm very happy that we did that. But I think if we were to go back to Manchester again,
Yeah.
it would probably be for a long weekend, as opposed to just a weekend trip. Like, even if we just had one extra day.
I think if we went there on the Friday, left on the Monday,
Yeah.
2 full days in Manchester.
Yeah.
Because, there's more museums I want to go to. There's more stuff to do there. There's other golf courses to go to.
There's other golf courses.
Mini golf, to clarify, friends. Mini golf and crazy golf. And we saw some other cool attractions there that we just didn't fancy at that time. But yeah, I think that's probably kind of does it for a little Manchester trip. We've got other stuff planned in the future, but we'll talk about them when we get there. But friends, thank you for your support as always. If you are listening on Patreon, as I said, I don't know where I'm going to release this yet. If you are listening on Patreon, we love you. Thank you for your support. Unending. If you're listening to this on the normal feed, I also love you, and I appreciate you hugely as well. Just not quite, just a little bit less than those Patreon supporters. But if you review the show, if you rate it on Spotify, ideally at 5 out of 5, please, or you review it on Audible or Apple Podcasts or Good Pods or anywhere like that, leave a review, send me a screenshot of it, and I'll send you a free episode of Afterthoughts. And we're currently in spooky season as well, which should be the case when this comes out. So during spooky season, if you do it, I'll send you 2 episodes of spooky season, which I think will probably be the first 2 Nightmare on Elm Street films. But if you put in a request, I'm sure I can accommodate another fast boy. But friends, thank you. We both appreciate you hugely, and we will speak to you very soon.
Bye.
Have you turned it on?
Yeah.
Have you pressed the record button once?
Yeah.
Have you pressed it twice?
Yeah.
Is it now recording me?
Yeah.
Yeesh. Okay. Is the timer going up as well?
Yeah.
Just to make sure. Okay. Well, friends.
I'm a professional.
You are. You're a podcast professional, even though you class yourself not as a podcast.
A professional. How do I stop it? Do I press stop or do I press record?
You have just experienced host, creator, everything elser of Genuine Chit-Chat, and also the host and creator of Star Wars Comics and Canon, found on the Comics in Motion podcast, Mike Burton.